Oh, waiting for audio.
We're here. We're live.
There we go. That's better.
Hello, Facebook.
We're,
Austin
we're not
Anderson.
we're not live. We're not live.
Damn it.
I will give an intro, and then I'll just ask you these questions.
So we will be live.
We're not going to be live. It's going to be recorded and then released.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So just in case there's an
So-
F1.
Can we turn that off?
Sure.
Don't get my ass in it.
Huh? All right. She's going
You
to turn
ready?
off. She's going to turn off. the
Okay.
air.
Can you get hot?
All right. Can you hear me better now? I know. How's
It's the same.
that?
It's fine.
I feel loud
Zoom.
now.
Zoom automatically mutes background noises. It has like an adjustable microphone.
Really?
It's true. It's true. What? Let me see something.
What's up?
My internet's awful. My Wi-Fi is the worst. So I'm gonna see if I can. I want to see if my phone Wi-Fi will be better. Do a personal hotspot. Let's see. Hello?
What's up?
Okay, I'm going to go off my personal hotspot. I think it might be stronger than my
Okay.
shitty Wi-Fi. All right, so you ready?
Yep.
What's my intro going to be? All right.
This is CBS, baby.
Get out of here. All right, I'm ready. Shut up. Make noise maker. All right. Hey, everybody. This is Deiveon with the Archbishop Rumble Genesian Players. And yes, it is. And I'm here with Austin Anderson, the 57th Genesian President.
That's
Is that
me.
right?
Yes,
That's
sir.
you. I was the president of the 53rd and the 54th season, so we got that commonality going along here.
That's
But
good.
I really wanted to check. I asked Ash, and I went up to her and I said, "Can I interview the seniors? Because they never get the closure of closing out this season, and it's such a weird time right now. And I really just wanted to reach out to them and review a little, give them like a digital final circle almost, where they can say their say and kind of just review what they've done in their whole Genesian experience.
Well, thank you.
So,
David.
yeah, how you been?
It's been fantastic. I mean, online class was the best thing that ever could have happened to me. I just have a lot more free time, and it was something that I think I really needed because ever since January, I was in rehearsal for Newsies and Peter and the Starcatcher, which both got canceled. Right. But it was a wake up at 6 o'clock and you don't go to sleep till 1,
I hear that, yeah.
It was school from 6 to 3, then rehearsal from 3 to 6, and then to Rivertown for Peter 7 to 10, and then it was.
And then homework.
Oh, yeah.
I hear that, but now you got so much free time. You're growing a great beard.
I like it. It's
I
cute.
don't know if Mr. Carpenter would approve, but it's here. And you know what? It might be here to stay.
Exactly.
So let me ask you, a little off topic, but so if you had graduation, would you have to shave for your graduation?
I don't think they should make a shave for graduation. I feel like we should be the graduating bearded senior.
But it's really, I mean, you look at all your classmates. I'm sure you're not the only one with a beard.
Have you seen Vic there?
No. Oh yeah, I did see Vic there. He's got a nice little thing going too.
He's got a whole.
I can't grow a beard. I can't do it. My beard it doesn't grow on the cheeks.
It looks
so I
good.
look like I can get the goatee going. I guess that's about it. So let me ask you, Austin. Tell me the story, basically, of how you joined Genesians in the first place.
Well, Deiveon, you should know a good bit about that. I auditioned for Into the Woods my 8th grade year, and that didn't go over so well. So
What do you mean? What do you mean? You didn't get in?
My audition was less than subpar. Is what I was told. But that was the performance of a lifetime. But so I was basically doing nothing for like the first semester of school, and then you asked me to join the choir at Rummel, which was choir directed by Jared Kroll, and so like we got to like interact through there, and then you guys were like, "Come audition for Midsummer. It'll show that you're there." And ever since then, I think I've been in every single show that we've put on.
Gotcha. Yeah.
What was it? I work crew for some show, but every other show I was on stage.
Gotcha. So, well, let's dive right into your first show. Give me a little. Okay, what was it like when you were finally in the building? You were in the cast. What was it like for your first Genesian show?
Well, Midsummer was actually really crazy because Genesian President at the time, Nick Wimprime, dropped out, and he played Philostrate, I think.
Yeah. Yep. That's it.
And so they had me cover that role, and then like I got like a huge upgrade, had to learn the lines in one night, and then I think then we went into tech.
Yeah.
We were already in tech.
We were in tech. I think we were in tech. Yeah. That's crazy.
He dropped out. And then I had to cover for that. But that was really like crazy, and getting to go over a part that like I didn't think I was going to be able to play, because before I was ensemble in a Shakespeare show. And talked. I mean, I didn't speak at all. I just kind of stood there and agreed with Genesian Garrett DeValcourt as Theseus.
Theseus, yes. Oh, name dropping. You remember everything.
I know. You were Oberon, but you wanted to be Theseus.
I did, but I
think Oberon brought you out of your comfort zone, but I think Theseus would have been like now, 20 years from now, like we do another production. I'll be Dimitri.
Are you saying we're 20 years away from that production? I think that was only like 5 years.
20 years from now, we got it. Got it in the bag.
We got it. All right. Can you recall any of your lines from that show?
Here, mighty Theseus.
That's awesome.
My words. Some 10 words. I don't remember. I remember like half my lines were on an iPad, so that's all I had to do. I was like,
"Oh my god!"
Some 10 words. Fantastic.
You had the Alan Payne going on, right?
I did. Great. I spoke in Act 5. Every other time I'd come on, they'd be like, "Theseus, go," and I left.
It
was great.
Wow. So you ended up doing 2 Shakespeare shows, right?
Yes. I did.
Wow.
Do Shakespeare shows.
We'll get to that one in a bit. So that was your first Genesian show.
Yes.
So now we're just gonna list all the shows you've done in order, and we're just gonna talk a little bit about each one. So after Midsummer was what?
I want to list every single one and then talk about
everything.
Or just like Secret Garden, then talk about Secret Garden.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Say the show and then we'll talk about it. Yeah.
Okay. Secret Garden as Captain Albert Lennox was actually like really enjoyable as an underclassman, because basically it was Trevor and you as Archibald and Neville, and then after that, the third most important vocal male part was top tenor or whatever, and that was me. And so like that was really fun, and like being able to like lead the ensemble and like help through a lot of songs, because I mean like a lot of us weren't like singers, and like were able to like connect, and I really enjoyed that show a lot.
A bit of Earth Reprise, am I right?
I still
have that
on my phone. I can I was belting
So,
out back then.
right. So your daughter was actually Mary Lennox, right, in that show? Who was
Yeah.
Karina. Um, so I remember being in rehearsal and like the first few rehearsals, I was like, what is Albert doing? And he's really presented in the show as a bunch of flashbacks, isn't he? And
Hmm.
and I think I remember at one part you sing or you say happy birthday, Dara, happy birthday, Mary, something like that to her. It's just
His role in that show, more than anything else, it's like he sings the most out of like all the ghosts, and it's like a bunch of creases of like what Archibald sings, and like, a lot of my lines were just like callbacks of like when she was growing up, and like
right,
at the end, all the ghosts disappear, and it's just me and her, and
right,
then I give her a hug, and then like I'm gone. Like that was like her most important relationship of all
hmm
the people that she had like while they were alive,
right,
and then at the end of the show, like she was able to let go and like really understand like this is my new family and I'm never gonna like let go of the past, but I'll
right,
have it like to remember.
right. And I'm just realizing it now. It's a bit. I like the way they make it because, like you said, all of Albert's parts are like recalls of what Archibald already sang, and it really shows like the mirror that Archibald is becoming a new father figure for her.
Exactly.
I just kind of
Yeah,
realized that right now. But yeah, it's a pretty well written show. I had a fun time doing it too.
absolutely.
So then after that was what? The importance of being
The
earnest,
importance of being
right?
earnest.
Earnest, yes. Um, what was your experience like in that show?
That was my first lead as
Yeah.
Reverend Chasuble. I updated my
Yep.
resume today, and it's at the bottom, but I mean, like, it was pretty important. Like, I got a lot of seniors for that role. Like, I knew I was gonna like be a part of the show, but like, we weren't certain like which role I was gonna have yet.
Right.
And also like because I was gonna be one of the waiters, not one of the waiters, one of the servants,
hmm
and then me getting bumped up to Chasuble, like put more opportunities for like Justin and Michael Brown, and like they
Right.
put Lane and Merriman and were hysterical.
I, there was just a line of presidents in that show when you look at it in
What?
retrospect.
Yeah. Everybody
You
who
had
is
53, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You had 5 classes worth of presidents in one show.
that was us. Only male in that show who wasn't president was Trevor. Um,
Oh, I
so
love
you
Trevor
know,
though.
there we go.
Right. Can you mention a line from that show? You got one that comes to mind?
Um, what is it? You know exactly what I'm thinking about too.
My
Uh,
illusion was drawn from bees.
what is it? I make a mean sermon on the mount. I don't remember.
Makes some allusion to the tragic
Project
something
Domestic
like that.
Affliction next Sunday.
That,
Well,
yep. The line I remember from that show is a hot bag. That's the line I remember. It gives me such Frasier vibes, honestly.
Miss
It's like
Priestley.
I am wounded.
Yep.
It just gives me that vibe.
I think
Yeah.
about that show more often than I should because I listen to A Man of No Importance,
hmm
and that had Roger Rees and Stephen Pasquale in it, and
hmm
and the play that they put on is The Importance of Being Earnest. So like every other song, they're like, William Carney is very excited to reprise his role as what was his name? Who was Trevor's character?
This is bad for the live.
Not Merriman. Shoot.
What's his name? I was John Worthing, and he was.
Oh, it's like
Oh,
it's something British. It's like really like.
it's really British.
I'm gonna look it up.
I can't for the life of me.
I'm gonna find it.
Oh my!
The two characters, and Santino Fontana played it on Broadway.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And
What's
importance
the name?
of being earnest. This is crazy. John Worthington.
John and
Algernon Moncrief.
Algernon.
Yep.
Oh, that's what it is. Yep. He's the sassy to the straight man. Yep.
So like
Yep.
I think about that show every day, and I was like, man, that was so much fun. And like,
That was
especially
fun.
it was so close and like so like everyone was just like, it was a 9-person cast. You know.
Yeah, 9 people. It was me, Trevor, you, Justin, Michael, Marielle, Emily, and Abby.
Yeah.
That's it. It's really close. And we were all pretty much at every rehearsal.
Yeah.
Crazy. So we all got to see us me and Trevor put the shoes on the head and all kind of stupidness.
Yep.
And that was we are best friends, but that was one of the few times we've ever shared lines on stage.
I know,
ever.
right? It's crazy.
I know. Someone's opening a door over there. But yeah, it's crazy because it's only one of the few times. So then what was your next show?
How to Succeed.
How to Succeed. Your big break.
That was a lot of fun.
That was a great show. That was the first show I actually saw, wasn't a part of, and I loved it. Oh my God. I saw it twice. I loved it. It was a great show. Tell me a little about your experience in that show.
Oh, it was my first show where like I had lines on almost every page. It was my first show where I had like multiple solos. It was like, and it was so good. Like it was,
yeah.
It's like when I look back on it, like the entire cast was good. Like I had just like started like really like practicing my craft. Like I just come off the Guys and Dolls with David Hoover. Like, and like we all just kind of meshed and like really came together, and it was just such a fun show. And like I love when like we put on fun shows because like the audience would just eat that up and like really enjoy everything that like will come out of it. Like silly, funny, like mess ups, it doesn't matter. Like it's a fun show and like everybody cared about it so much.
You got a line you can remember from the show?
I can, and then how to apply for a job, how to advance from the mailroom.
Perfect. Is that show You Fat Walrus?
That's the producers,
okay.
but Matthew Broderick nonetheless.
Yeah, nonetheless. So then after that show, what was after that? Was that
Death of a Salesman.
That's what?
Death of a Salesman.
Oh, Death of a Salesman. Justin Connor's big break. That's when Justin had a line on every page, and half the time his lines were him thinking he was doing something else than what he was doing. Other times he's recalling driving a car off the road. Other times he's contemplating suicide, quite frankly. So what was your experience like in that show, Biffo?
I think it was a good show at a good time, but I think I was completely wrong to play Biff where it wasn't my life. I mean, like, I see myself as more like Bernard or Happy or like somebody who does make an impact. But I mean, like, I really liked playing Biff and like really getting like to be on stage with Justin. Justin knocked that show out the park.
Oh yeah, he did.
That was fantastic. Like, you could like look back and like see Dustin Hoffman do it and see just like a bunch of other people do it. And like Justin's holds up so well. Like he starts at 100 and does not stop until the character dies.
Yeah.
Like he did so good.
He looked old too. He looked old and beat down. I know.
One of my favorites was when we were in tech and we were trying different things to do with his hair. Instead of the spray that we use for She Loves Me, we used powder, and like he somebody like hit him on the back and went like, and then like powder went and like everywhere. Oh, it was so funny.
That's awesome. Oh my God.
That was one show where like I really I needed to push myself as an actor because like I see it and it's just a terrible John Malkovich impression. It's like I watched the movie so much and like I watched that movie, like I went to sleep to that movie and like I watched it and like I love the movie, and I think the movie is fantastic, but I think I was just too much trying to be John Malkovich as Biff and not myself.
Mhm.
And so like
Right.
I would revisit it and do things that I would like to do with it, because like I was just like, there's so much more things you can do on the screen than in stage. Like I
Right.
would have liked to have brought like more truth and more honesty to the role. But I mean, like in the end,
Yeah.
you look back on and be like, I was a sophomore handling material for a 32-year-old, and I think I did pretty okay.
Yeah, you did okay. It's really true what you say about the screen and the stage. When you're on the screen, you can give a little eyebrow look, and it tells the world. But when you're on the stage, you gotta be a little bigger than an eyebrow on the stage. You know. Yep. Even though some people, you gotta find a balance, because at the same time you don't want to be obnoxious. But
Absolutely, yeah.
just an eyebrow is not gonna cut it when you're playing to a 300 people house or 500 person house. So, what was your show after Death of the Salesman?
Barnum.
Ah, yes. Perhaps the most beautiful Austin has ever looked was in Barnum.
I think
so.
Anthem, the skinniest I've ever been on stage. What else was completely wrong?
Not to bust your balls, but that show. that show. I never got to see that show. Actually, that's the one show of yours I don't think I've ever seen, because
that was so crazy. I had to learn to do so many things for that show.
Yeah.
I was in we were juggling Music Man at Rivertown and that show like really close together. Like they were
right.
When did Music Man open? Around like September?
Yeah, it ran through my birthday, so it opened like September 3rd or 4th probably.
September. So then like we opened in November for Barnum. So like I only had like really October to like really play with everything. And so like we had already like blocked Act 1 when like I started to show up to rehearsals. So like I was just like really like out of my element. But then like I had to go home and like really experiment like with what I could do. And when I was at Music Man, I was an apple seller. So I was always juggling apples. Every Saturday I was at tightrope class, learning how to walk on a tightrope. Anytime at school, like I could be off, I was spinning plates, juggling bricks, like doing whatever I could to just make that show really, really enjoyable. And I mean, like a lot of people liked it, but I mean, like it was just so hard playing to one half of the gym and the other half of the gym, and like a lot of things like lost in translation. And it was a lot of fun, a lot of hard work, but thank God it was only 2 days, because I could have something. Ooh. Yeah, that was.
How were your feet?
Huh?
How were your feet after walking on a tightrope?
Well, that's actually not the most my feet have hurt ever, but we'll talk about that show in a little bit. But I was running around, and like you gotta remember, like that was I think my heaviest. Like I was 250 pounds running around that like 50 feet stage, like all over the place, and just trying to like get.
Were you ever tired while you were singing?
I got tired after the first number. Like I'd be like, and the biggest one, Exploding Nun, is me, and then like I remember after singing Sucker Born every minute, and then like my next monologue, I was like, Joyce Heth, the oldest woman in the world, and I was like, God, I'm so out of breath. But I got 2 more hours of a show to do.
Right.
But like, I mean, like I never dropped energy. Like I always had to like sell it, because I never left the stage. That was like the show. I never left the stage except when Ross Hengel would come out and sing his little song for 3 minutes. I had 3 minutes off stage every night.
Every night.
They were the most glorious 3 minutes of my life.
So what was it like? What was the backstage experience like? Just real quick, on a show that was in the gym. I never did a show in the gym. What was it like?
I was never backstage. I was on that tightrope 24. Well, like after I fell, I was on that tightrope every single day. Like they would circle. I'm like, I can't circle. I have to walk this tightrope. Like I just had to like know how it felt, and like know like how to, because that was the show.
Right, right.
I mean, like everything didn't matter. I mean, like I got on that tightrope, I made it across, show's over. Even though it was like in Act 1, like everybody wanted to see that, and like that was like for a lot of people, you know.
Right, right. So at intermission, you went backstage.
Intermission, I was out juggling for people. I was saying hi, high
Wow.
fiving. Yeah. No,
Wow, that's awesome.
Barnum never rest.
So what was after Barnum? Was that Charlie Brown?
Yeah, Charlie Brown. The fabulous director Michael Brown.
Yep.
Oh, that was a lot of fun because like Michael and I had talked about doing a show together, like collaborative, for the longest time, and we talked about Hello Dolly, Thoroughly Modern Millie, like a lot of things that have been too big for that theater. And then like one day we sat down, we were like, why don't we just do You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown? And then like everything just like kind of worked out.
Right.
It was such a simple set, really small cast. I think it was as many as Death of a Salesman. I mean, not Death of a Salesman. Importance of Being Earnest.
Mm-hmm. It's I mean, it's a really great. It's really, the show's really well written. The comedy, I love the comedy in the show. The first time I saw it, I was just amazed on how funny it was. I don't know if the original script's that funny, or if that's maybe the revival.
What I found out was Hannah and I were reading like comic book scripts the other day, and like we found like the funnies of like the newspaper, and like the lines of the play are ripped from the comics. Like I read like one of the scenes the other day, like on the newspaper, and I was like, that's hysterical.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, like I guess like they wanted to show like, especially Charles Schultz's like comedy, his stylistic timing, but like that was Noah Vicner's first time on stage, and he destroyed it like with Beethoven Day. I mean, like a lot of people shined in that show, and it was just it was just like a lot of people like came together, and Michael Brown did such a good job.
I remember oh goodness, I'm breaking up here. You there?
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, I remember being with Trevor at that show, Trevor and Kelly Fushi at that show, and I was talking to Trevor, and Trevor's like, who is this Noah Vicner kid, and why is he so good?
Right.
So
I mean, we've been telling Noah for so long, like, you need to join Genesians.
Yep. And they finally reeled him in.
He was playing guitar.
Yep. So then, after that show, what was next?
Richard II.
Richard II. Tell me a little about that experience. Your second Shakespeare.
That was the complete opposite of like what I just got off of. Where like Newsies and Peter were every day. Richard, I was called to like 2 rehearsals. I had so many lines, but I mean, like, I would just go home, watch Frasier, fall asleep, and go to school. You know, I had nothing to do, and I was just like, I don't know if I was content with that, but I mean, like, I was just like, well, I get to go home now. Cook me up some steak, watch a season of Frasier, and then went to sleep. You know.
A season of Frasier, that's 12 hours, my friend. So, can you recall a line from that show?
I couldn't recall that was the most unprofessional I've ever been in a rehearsal process ever.
Wow.
I was just a nuisance to Ash as a director. I was a nuisance to the cast as an actor. And I was so, like, that's when, like, I was so, like, full of myself. Like, I was like, I know what I'm doing this summer. I'm in Pirates of Penzance. Like, I don't, what is Richard II? Like, I'm Eddie and Mamma Mia. What do I care? You know, like, I got, like, so, like, big about myself. I didn't learn any of my lines. I waited to get to rehearsals to like start like really looking over my blocking, and then like it was just like it was just like so unprofessional of me. And then like after that show, like I was like, I can't do that ever again.
Right.
And so that like led me to be like the conscientious actor I am today. But yeah, I feel like that show was like very important overall.
So
for like,
right. It taught you a lot, even though maybe you weren't the best during it. You still learned from it.
Like, I think like I did well. I understood what was going on, but like the amount of effort I gave it was not as strong as Barnum or Charlie Brown. Like with that season overall.
Right.
Even though like
I was gonna say, it's just at the end of the day, high school theater is about learning. If you learn more about being a conscientious actor, you still had a great learning experience in that show.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, there's a lot of people who like did fantastic jobs with that show. Like Michael Brown just like took like Richard to like places like nobody ever thought. Like it was crazy to just like see like the highs and lows of like everything he could do. And like Noah, his second show ever, and like did Shakespeare and like was on his stuff the entire show.
Right.
Me and Noah actually had a lot of time backstage because we both died in Act 1. So like we just talked the entire show until.
Right. So let me ask you, if that show, because like another point on high school theater, if that was just a normal show, would you have auditioned for it?
Like
right,
outside of.
Yeah, let's say the NOLA project was just doing Richard II. Would you have auditioned for Shakespeare?
Never.
Exactly, and I think that's a big growing part of high school theater. Is sometimes you got to do things you wouldn't normally do, just so you have a little bit of experience in case it ever does come up in the real world.
I mean, I just wanted to be with my friends and like I just wanted to be on stage with everybody, but like it got like so taxing and just like so out of like the actor like I was, and then just like a lot of things had to like compromise for like other opportunities. Right.
So then what show was after that? Was that
that was My Fair Lady.
My Fair Lady. We got Henry Higgins here.
See,
what was that experience like?
The opposite of like not learning my lines were like I was off book before we went into off book days. Like I was running that show every single day when I could, looking over my lines constantly because like he has so much to say in that 3-hour-long musical. It was like that was one of the shows where like I enjoyed my straight scenes more than I enjoyed any of my songs.
Wow.
Like I enjoyed being an actor way more than I enjoyed being a singer, which like usually for me is like different. But like it like got to show like different sides of me, like because he's just like so melodramatic the entire show. And like it was very like he was very fun to like play and just like get to be angry and like mean. So much fun.
Yeah. So give me a line from that show.
You impudent hussy. What else? Incarnate insult to the English language. What else?
Hurricanes, what is it? Hurricanes hardly happen
Hurricanes hardly ever happen.
Or it's in Hampshire, Hartford.
In Hartford, Haddiford, and Hampshire. Hurricanes hardly ever happen.
There it is. There it is.
I find the moment that a woman makes friends with me, she becomes jealous, exacting, suspicious, and a damn nuisance. I find the moment that I make friends with her, when I become selfish and tyrannical. So here I am, confirmed old bachelor and likely to remain so. After all, Pickering, I'm an ordinary man. I could go on, but I don't need to.
So that was your third show playing opposite Sarah, right?
Yeah, because we did How to Succeed, then we did Barnum, then we did My Fair Lady.
Yeah. So what was it like to have that 3-year continuous cycle, getting to really work with one actor in particular? It was like you guys are really you were the Norbert, and what's her name? If I'm gonna bring her references, probably should know her name. What's
What's
her
up?
name? Dirty Rotten Scoundrels and
Oh,
Last
sure,
5 Years. Yeah, Sherry. You were like Robert and Sherry.
Yeah, Sarah's definitely progressed as an actor over the years. And I think she's fantastic. She's a great mezzo soprano.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm excited.
What was your favorite scene together out of all the shows?
Oh, the My Fair Lady, Act 2, when she gets all mad I didn't show her off at the party, and I thought it was all about me, and she was like, "You don't care. You so care as much as them slippers." And I'm like, "No slippers." And I got to yell at her, and that was so much fun.
Which ending did you like the best in My Fair Lady?
My favorite ending was when she took the bird cage and she walked into the audience, because during tech rehearsals, I was sitting and I went, and then she came back. And I was like, "Eliza, where are my slippers?" And she walked through the stairs, and I'm like, "What? Where'd she just walk to?" It's like, that's another wall of my house. I'm like, how did she get past the wall of my house? And I thought that was hysterical. Every time, no matter what, I'd stand up and be like, "I need another wall." Like,
so then,
she's like, she's Iron Man through my house.
Right. She went Danny Phantom, just walked through the wall.
Yeah.
So then your next show was also your last show, right? It was She Loves Me.
Oh, that was such a fun show.
What was the experience like directing and being in a show?
Oh, it's so rewarding. I got so blessed to be on stage with fantastic people and to cast fantastic people and to see them like really shine and really like take charge. I mean, everyone who came out really showed. And I mean, like, Hannah as Amalia and Noah as George was perfect.
Great. Yeah,
like, I mean,
great.
like, they both sang so beautifully, like, like how they bounced back in one another, and like the bedroom scene and then like the restaurant scene was perfect. Like, it was just such like everyone shined. I mean, especially Mr. Marichek.
You know that.
I mean, they get together in the end, but I mean, nothing made me cry more than when Mr. Marichek had that phone call with his wife.
That was a unique experience coming back after what 2-3 years to come do a show. It was different.
Oh, absolutely.
I actually got to have my facial hair, so that was nice.
Exactly.
I had a mustache for way longer than I wanted, but it was fun having gray hair and just being mean.
Yeah,
and, you know, I was at your house and I was off book before we had our first read through.
We had talked about who would play Mr. Marichek a few days before auditions.
Do you remember what I auditioned with?
Yeah, the Pirate King from Pirates of Penzance. I think I remember like putting on like the cast list. Like, I think it was like Mr. Marichek is unavailable. I think it was something like that. But like being behind the table at an audition was great. Right. Like, to see like everyone's amazing talent and then calling them back, like to see them sing, like, and have everybody like against like what could potentially like happen, was such a rewarding and liberating experience. And like I'm so glad, like I feel so bad for like everyone who was involved with Crucible, but I mean, like, I'm glad we had She Loves Me like as closure, you know, before. I think Crucible like will continue on, but this She Loves Me was just so liberating, and so many things happened, and like audiences loved it, and I mean that was my entire goal.
So what would you say to your prior self now with the knowledge after directing the show? What would you say about directing? What would be your biggest tip to your previous self?
Um, what did I say? Be patient. Everyone is like learning, like, because I mean, like, you think of the show like so like far in advance, like, you know, like the ins and outs of it.
Right.
I mean, like a lot of people, like, that's their first time like getting the material, like really looking over like what it is. And so like everyone's learning, everyone's like really trying to like comprehend, and then like just treat everybody like the way you'd want to be treated as an actor, and then everything will just smooth over towards that. I remember like getting like one rehearsal being so angry, and then I had to like have a talk with myself, and I was like, I can't do that again. You know, like,
what were you mad about?
like set stuff was breaking. Like there's a whole lot of like mess with like the costumer just quit. There's a whole lot of issues with getting props and like a lot of technical things that like we tried to accomplish that were just like not hitting the mark, and like we were just like I think we're like a month away from the show, and we have no time.
Right. Was that a rehearsal or was that a show when Noah Flynn didn't bring the music box out?
That was a show.
Oh my God, that was a show.
That was a show. We finished Sounds While Selling, and then we finished Days Gone By, right? And then you're like,
yep.
Take my advice, George. Blah 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 blah. And then you're like, and then he's like, Mr. Maritek, I'm not about something, whatever. And then we're all like, nice suit. Where'd you get it? Brooks Brothers. And then like we're like, Arpad was supposed to bring out the music. I'll go get it. Thank you, Mr. Kodai. It was crazy.
People are ad-libbing are the worst. It's always like, this person's not doing something, but I think they should be.
Like unexpected, like.
Yeah. It's always the same thing, though. It's always like, this character should be here doing this. Oh. I'm
right?
Like, yeah, I didn't give it away. Thanks.
Right? Jeez.
Oh, but that's so true. And that was your last Genesian show, wasn't it?
Sure was.
Can you give me a line?
Oh yeah. Say Mr. Kodai will it sell.
Mr. Kodai, will it sell?
I can't imagine why not, sir. I'd even go further. I think it'll make music lovers out of cigarette smokers, and cigarette smokers out of music lovers.
Thank you, Mr. Kodai.
You're welcome, sir.
All right, so now we went through all of your shows.
Yeah.
So I want you to tell me, out of all the Genesian shows you've done, what's your favorite scene?
Favorite scene? Grand Knowing You. And and She Loves Me. It was so like, it's been grand knowing you, Rummel. It's been grand knowing you, castmates. Like, like I've always hated like goodbye. Like very like, I don't want it to end. I mean, like, and that was the thing. Like with me, it was like, it was never like a sad circle where it was like, well, guys, I hope life gets better. It was like, guys, like, you're next. Like, it's your time to shine, and like things are gonna like pick up. And so Grand Knowing You to me was just like a goodbye to like Rummel, goodbye to Miss Ash, goodbye to the cast, goodbye to everybody. And like getting to just like play opposite Noah and Josh and just like it really be like, it's been grand knowing you. It was just
right. Wow. So what would you say to the rest of your castmates and fellow Genesians?
I mean, like, I know there's no show right now, and I know like school is just about to end, like virtual school, but like never stop wanting to get better. You know, I mean, I think that was one thing that like really pushed me like to the place that I am right now. I always wanted to be better. Like I always wanted to be the best person in the room, and even if I wanted to be like even better than me. You know, I was always learning. I was always looking up new material, new like monologues, new songs, and really like I think my work ethic alone got me to like where I am because I wasn't a natural by like any standard. Like I couldn't really sing, like I couldn't really act, I couldn't really dance. Still can't dance now, but like I think Genesians taught me to just like keep at it no matter what, because like things will get better, and like especially now like things will get better. I mean, like I know like Voodoo's canceled and Jazz Fest is canceled, and a lot of things that like a lot of people were looking forward to. Everyone's shows were canceled, but I mean, like I think if we're all smart and we know what we're doing, we're just gonna hunker down and like really get past it, and then everything will like, I think, be better for it. You know?
Right. Yeah, like they say in Man La Mancha, and the world will be better for this.
Exactly. So, you know, I thought you were gonna say, like they say in Man La Mancha, I am a little barber, and I don't know.
So so that on your senior year, what's coming up for you for school-wise next year?
Northwestern musical theater performance major, but like we're uncertain of like when classes will start. Like they're aiming to start in the fall, but I think it's going to be more online, interactive than just like online classes, because it is like a Bachelor of Science in musical theater. Right. So we'll just have to like see what it is and like keep going and progressing. You know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on a great 5-year Genesian?
Yep.
Congratulations on a great 5 years. What'd you do? Like 12 shows probably.
Around that, yeah.
Yeah. Did we touch? Oh, we didn't touch on Friends. You did a sitcom. I forgot.
Well, I mean, I didn't know we were doing all the senior one acts because we did Button and Daredevil and
oh my goodness, yeah. You worked crew for those. You were crew.
I was crew.
You did everything in that theater.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Friends. I played Ross in Friends, the sitcom.
The sitcom. Can you give us one line from that real quick? In your best David Schwimmer?
My watch stopped. My watch. The little dinosaur tail isn't going around anymore. What time is it? Something like that.
That was close. That was what do they call it in television when the whole episode is in one spot?
I found out it's like to save money or whatever, like
yeah, you just one location for the episode.
A stint episode? It's like something like that. It's like
yeah.
Like still, and it's all like one area.
Those are the best episodes to take to the stage because it's one set.
Oh yeah, perfect.
It's hard to have a coffee shop and then this and then that. You know. Well, all right, Austin. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Deiveon. Taking time. And stay safe. Wish you well. And I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Yes, sir. Sure, Deiveon.